Hi everyone, okay, so it was requested that I do a updated foundation routine video. Not much has changed since my last one, but it's been over a year since I've done it, and I always change little things here and there and stuff, so probably it's completely overhauled and I just don't realize it. Anyways, so I'm going to show you how I get the base for my videos. Okay, so this is my bare face, and what I have on my face right now is just like, I just use my facial products, so just like my toner and my sunscreen. So that was probably, I don't know, maybe like 20-30 minutes ago that I applied that. So my skin feels all smooth now. I'm not going to use a primer. I guess you can use a primer if you want. The only time I ever really use a primer is if I'm just going to use a powder foundation. I just find that it glides on a little bit more smoothly then. But otherwise, if I'm just using like my regular silicone-based foundation, I do not use a primer. So the primer I'm going to use is Max SPF 15 in NC44. Now it's going to look dark for my skin tone, however my chest is darker than my face, so I use this to just kind of even it out so that there's not such a drastic difference, because my face is actually probably a little bit less than an NC40. Yeah, so the brush I'm going to use is the Real Techniques I don't know, it looks like a duo fiber, but it's actually just all synthetic. And I prefer this one over, let's say, like other kind of flat top foundation brushes, just because I find that it doesn't absorb as much of the foundation, and it also applies it a little bit more heavier, I guess. If you don't want a heavy coverage, then yeah, you're better off using the other ones. But I find that this one uses less, and then it also applies it a little bit heavier. So I just find that's a little bit more efficient. So what I do is I just kind of take the foundation and I just kind of squirt it like almost a pump and a half onto the back of my hand. And then I dip just like a corner of the brush into it and just start applying it. Because I use a lot of sunscreen every single day, and foundation pretty much, yeah, I don't really tan. My face doesn't really tan as much as the rest of me. Even though I use sunscreen on the rest of me, I think it's like double coverage on my face, so. And just so you know, Studio Fix foundation has SPF 15 in it, but it's not a broad spectrum coverage. So that means it doesn't block both UVA and UVB rays, so you should use an additional sunscreen with it. I'm gonna bring it down to my neck. And with this foundation brush too, less is more. If you put too much foundation on it at once, you are gonna get like tons of streaks. But if you put just like a little bit at a time and then just layer it, it works much better that way. Let's Makeup actually sent me this brush. Thank you, Shiv. So, just like so. I also take the time around the piercings too. I don't want to get it too close because they're still relatively new. I think they're only like almost 4 months old and everything, and they take a long time to heal. So I just kind of try to keep the makeup away from the piercings. And then also the pump on the foundation bottle, you can buy that separately at MAC. Yeah, I just find it much easier than having just like the open bottle. I don't know why they don't bother coming with a pump. Probably just they want to make a little bit more money, but yeah, you can just buy it and keep on reusing it if you want to. The next product I'm going to use is Ben Nye's banana powder. This is actually not the container it comes in. Jean-Francois CD was like kind enough to give me a sample of it to use and everything to try it out, and I adore it. Banana powder is probably too dark for people with fair skin. However, with somebody who's very olive colored like me or anything like that, or a little bit medium toned, it works perfectly. And it's also great for photographing, or it's very photogenic, I guess. So I just put it on a powder brush and just apply it. The next product I'm going to use is Paula's Choice Shinestopper. This keeps my face matte in the summertime. In the wintertime I don't have so much of an issue, but in the summertime I have an oily T-zone, and so I do the exact same thing with my foundation. Apply just like a bit on my hand here. And then I actually just, take my foundation brush and just dab it on top. Just in the areas where I find I get oily. You don't want to work it in too much, because then you'll just start moving around your makeup. However, you do want to apply it on top of your foundation. Next I take the Stilazzi angled brush here, and I use a Paula's Choice bronzer, so this one here. It's kind of falling apart. I think this is I think it's probably been discontinued a long time ago, but still works, so I still use it. And then I start contouring my face. And I contour with powder. I don't use cream because I reuse quite a bit of foundation and all that other kind of stuff, so I'd rather just not have that extra feeling. So I just use powder. It seems to work anyway. And then my nose. If I want to get in real detail, then I usually go in with an angled brush. I'll probably do that in a couple minutes. So once I have that done, then I go in with an angled liner brush in the bronzer, and then I start doing kind of more of a detailed contour. Next I go in with the highlight. I am using Ben Nye's MediaPro in Bella, which is a very light powder. And apply it to my cheekbones and my cheeks. My chin, and my forehead, the center of my forehead. And then I just go in with more of a detailed brush and Bella, and just go down the tip of my nose, or the center of my nose, sorry. And then the last thing I do is go in with a blush. I'm just going to use MAC's Gingerly, because that's just like my go-to, and just lightly apply it. That is basically how I get my the base of my face before I do my tutorials and my photos. I hope you guys found this useful, and I'll see you guys later. Not much has changed since my last foundation routine video, but that was over a year ago, so I think it's time to show you guys my foundation routine, just with a couple different updates. I still use the same foundation. Maybe I have changed some things. Hi everyone. Okay, so